Hi everyone, it's Kearney with Realty Billings. Today, I really want to talk to you guys about something that's near and dear to my heart, and that is buying a home when you're self-employed. So if you're self-employed, sit back, maybe grab a glass of wine or whatever it is you're into drinking, and let's talk a little bit about my story so that it can help you guys better prepare for when you're looking to buy a home. I didn't think of how my new income and my new job was actually going to affect my ability to buy a house. At the time, I was still renting when I got into the industry. This was something I really didn't want to talk about because I felt like people would expect me to own my own house when I became a realtor. But that's really not the case. A lot of agents don't actually own a home when they first get into the business. We get into the business and we think that we're going to be able to find the best home, but there's so many restrictions when it comes to being self-employed and being able to take that step into home ownership. One of the things that really helped me along in the process was starting early and being able to actually plan my steps to getting into a home. One of the first steps that I think it's super important to take is to talk to your tax accountant or your CPA, whoever you use to do your taxes. You really need to work with them hand in hand to be able to help you. The reason for this is because you have to actually be able to prove that you have enough taxable income to buy a house. This was the issue with me at first too, because when you're self-employed, you're looking for all these deductions so that you can lessen your tax burden. And why wouldn't you? You don't want to have to pay more money in than you should, and you have these deductions for a reason. But the problem with that is as soon as you start deducting, then you're lowering your ability to be approved. So you need to work with your tax accountant in order to actually take step-by-step precautions over the years to build and show that you have some income. The second step that I think is super important is to meet with a lender. And I know that people think that this is a little intimidating to meet with a lender, but meeting with a lender and a tax accountant together is really gonna help you in order to make those next steps and buy a home. Lenders need at least 2 years of income. And yeah, you heard that right, 2 years. When you become self-employed, they have to track it before they can even do anything to help you buy a house. And there's no way around this. Trust me, I tried everything in the book to be able to buy a home sooner rather than later. But that turns out lenders know a little more than I do. So when I met with my lender, I was able to plan early with my tax accountant in order to achieve the income I needed to buy the home that I wanted to purchase. All of this took so much planning in advance and was such a headache. And trust me, I didn't want to do any of it either, but I really wanted to get to that goal of home ownership. And I think the last step that I can really give you from my story as well is to keep your eye on the prize. I know that sounds dumb, but there were times when I wanted to buy a car or when I really hated my furniture that was in my rental living room. But by keeping in mind what my overall goal was, which was to purchase a home, I held myself back from doing those other unnecessary steps that were going to hinder my ability to buy a house. As soon as you add more things like that against you, it's even harder when you're self-employed to be able to purchase a home. I know this all might sound a little doom and gloom, and you might be feeling a little bit disappointed about your ability to buy a home at the moment, but I promise you, you can do this. If you took the right steps in order to start your own business, you can take the steps to be able to get into home ownership. If you have any questions, check out my blog post where I go into a little bit more detail about these steps that I advise you to take. Or you can feel free to message me as well. Until next time.